We have learned in America that the surest safeguard against centralization of political power is the diffusion of human knowledge. As Mirabeau Lamar once said, and as I like to repeat in every state, the educated mind is the guardian genius of democracy. The more strong centers of learning and research that are built across our nation, the stronger becomes the fabric of our freedom and the fiber of our society. The Graduate Research Center of the Southwest, under the leadership of Dr. Berkner, helps to fill a very vital need for the vigorous future of Texas and the Southwest. It has long had my admiration and my support. I am confident that the Graduate Research Center of the Southwest will, through the years to come, play an invaluable role in helping us to fulfill the potential of the human resources of a great region.
Now, you presided over the organization and steered it through an extremely important transition from a center to a public university.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, of course, we had to adapt to the bureaucracy of the University of Texas system. Having no experience or along that line, there were rough spots along the way, but on the whole, we had good support from the chancellor's office. So there are no great problems, but still there were some some points of difficulty.
The university was signed via a House bill, or rather the organization was signed into a university via a House bill in June of 1969 by Governor Preston Smith. But at the time, wasn't it a little controversial to be bringing it up?
Yeah, there's a lot of political concerns about it. All of the universities in the North Texas area were against it, particularly against having undergraduates. At the beginning, by legislative action, we could not have undergraduates. That was lifted later. It's now a great and full-fledged university.
As you look back over your time as a research scientist, as an administrator, as an interim president of a growing organization, a new member of the UT system, what would you most like to be remembered for?
Well, as having been a factor in preserving the institution, I think.
Go back in your mind's eye and tell us what images come to mind when you think about the University of Texas at Dallas.
I went up to Dallas to meet with a so-called selection committee of the faculty. That was chaired by a cosmologist named Ivor Robinson. And I think Anton Hales, who was head of geosciences, as they called it. I met with them. We talked for a while, and I was puzzled enough that I said to Ivor Robinson, why in the world would you scientists want this musicologist to be president of your university? And I never will forget Ivor's response. He said, Dr. Jordan, you don't know a thing about what we do, and we like it that way. And that's how I became president of UT Dallas.
So what strikes me about so many of your hires is that the majority of them are still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you knew how to pick them. Well, what was your strategy? How did you know to
Well, the strategy was to hire people who were capable of PhD research. And that's where the excellence of the university was born and being maintained.
Well, UT Dallas has just the right profile to evolve into a top-quality national research university or Tier 1 university. 80% of all of our degrees are awarded in science, engineering, mathematics, and business. So it's a focused university that is focused in the right areas. I don't think the state alone can make these universities top-tier universities. I think alumni, philanthropists, communities have got to partner with the universities in order to accomplish it. So I would recommend and have recommended that we sort of get in a race with one another and see who can raise the other resources that would be necessary to become Tier 1. Rather than try to pick one of the universities to advance, my suggestion was, let's put the money in a pool, let's let the universities compete, and let's see who does the best, and reward the university that advances the fastest toward the goal of becoming Tier 1. Today, in this globally competitive, knowledge-based economy, what we build is universities. We build brains. When you build multiple great institutions, it truly is a rising tide that brings companies, it brings resources, it brings talent. So I wish my colleagues all the success in the world. The more successful they are, the more successful Dallas is.